going? And welcome to What the Fuck Am I Reading? Today I did remember the intro. So this week, not going to lie, I barely read a thing because I was too busy binging the fucking Shadow and Bone TV show, which was excellent. It was such a great adaptation. As the show in itself, it was good. It wasn't a bad show at all. Like, not a bad show. But man, as an adaptation, it was fucking glorious. Like, such a good, like, carefully done adaptation. There are many changes, but they are done well. It reminds me a lot of the Expanse TV show. You know, there are many changes done. Oh, let me adjust. Better. They are done so greatly. Like, oh shit. Like, I'm just, like, utterly happy that I watched it and that this happened. I had, like, good enough expectations after watching the trailer, but before, I thought it was going to be terrible. I thought it was going to be fucking trash. Because adaptations of YA books tend to be terrible. Looking at you, Percy Jackson. It was great. If you're hesitating to watch it, if you just are just like, oh my god, it's YA, I don't want to watch it, fuck that. Watch this. It is a great fantasy TV show. Like, great fantasy TV show. We can just have from now on good fantasy TV shows, please. That would be glorious. I would be so happy. But yeah, overall it was fantastic. I binged it in a day. I spent from 10:30 p.m. till like 5 a.m. or something like that, just watching the show. It didn't feel like slow or anything, and the introduction of these Six of Crows characters, it was done so well. Like, it was done so well. I wasn't expecting anything from that, and it was fucking fantastic. And the cast, hello, incredible. The person that did the cast should have a raise. Like, whoever they are, they should have a raise. They did such a great job. Man, Jesper was a fucking show stealer. Like, I'm so happy. I'm so happy. I really want to rewatch that again. So my hype was over the roof. So you know what? I decided to be prepared and finish reading the fucking Grishaverse. So I read Rule of Wolves by Verdugo, which is the second book, well, the final book in the Nikolai duology, which is a sequel to the Six of Crows duology and the Grisha, well, the Shadow and Bone trilogy. That's a mouthful. But Nikolai is basically my favorite character, you know, like, he's fantastic. He's fantastic. So I was quite hyped to getting into this one. This is the only, like, Grishaverse book that I have read when it came out. Like, all the other books I read on a week last year. I was just, like, binging them all. Honestly, it was okay. Like, it was okay. I think this, it pains me to say this, but I think this duology could have not existed and we will be fine. Besides Nikolai, the other storylines were okay. Like, Nina's storyline in this one was better, but do I really care about it? Not much, if I'm being honest. It was a satisfying ending. And I believe that Verdugo is not going to write anything else on the Grishaverse. At least not with these characters. It has like a possible ending, like, oh, maybe. But it feels more like he... kind of a... not an Easter egg, but like he... like, oh, yeah, maybe. But I don't think it's going to happen. It was good. You know, it was a fun ride overall. I still prefer the Grisha trilogy, honestly. Before all of the other sequels. I prefer the Grisha trilogy. It's just fun, you know. It doesn't take itself too seriously. And that's something that I really enjoy from these books. So yeah, I still prefer the Grisha trilogy over all of this, honestly. But this book is beautiful, honestly. Like, Verdugo has the most beautiful books. Like, excuse me. I just wanted to talk about this one here. It wasn't the first book that I finished this week, but I just wanted to talk about that one because, you know, like, the book was okay. I'm kind of curious to read Life of the Saints, something like that. It's the only book that I haven't read. I'm curious enough to read it. But you know, I gave this one 4 stars, mostly out of nostalgia, because some characters from previous books appear in here. It's like, oh, this is so cool. And for Nikolai, honestly, that's it. The rest it was okay. I don't really have that much to say because it was just okay. It's super easy to read again, like the other books. But yeah, nothing else much, honestly. It was just great. Just go and watch the fucking TV show. Shadow and Bone was fantastic. I do want to rewatch that. I need the season 2. But the first book that I finished this week, so let's just go with the regular stuff, was Ring Shout by... I really like this. This is a fantasy horror kind of, well, it's more like urban fantasy horror. It's a really short novella and I really liked it. We basically follow this group and they basically hunt down KKK members. Basically, that's the first premise of the story. And basically the KKK members are kind of these weird ass monsters, and it's cool. It's cool, not gonna lie. It was fucking great. I gave this one 4.5, only because I wish it was longer. This could have been like a novel, like a full-length novel. I don't know why this one is a novella. I love the topics that were discussed here. Of course, there was talk about racism. Of fucking course, like, I mean, yeah. And I really liked it. There's also a lot of magic in this book, which took me by surprise. I wasn't expecting that. There's even magic swords. I love this type of magic where you are connected to your ancestors. I love that. It reminded me a lot of the one that I saw in Legendborn. I don't remember the name of the magic. It wasn't like the one for the Arthurian myth. It was the other one, like her mother's side of magic, and I just don't remember the name. The Root? Or something like that. But it reminded me a lot of that. I just don't want to talk that much about that because, you know, heavy spoilers. Like, heavy spoilers. It is a super short novella. I would highly recommend you check out the audiobook. The horror parts are done greatly. I thoroughly enjoyed them. Actually, they were just like so cool. So yeah, I would highly recommend that you read Ring Shout. You can read it in a day, in an afternoon. It's super easy to read. It's super entertaining. There are so many great topics and discussions. I would highly recommend. But yeah, I just don't want to get into much depth about this one. Even though I could make like a full video talking about this book because it was that good. I just don't want to tell you much because I really want you to experience the book for yourself. So please go ahead and do that. It's great. It's great. This one is fantastic. And I'm super excited to now read Master of Jinn because it is the next book by this author. And I'm losing my mind over it. It's coming out in May, I believe. I'm losing my mind over that. I just really want to read that. So the other book that I finished this week, yeah, I only finished three books this week. You know, I couldn't read a thing and I was just really wanting to watch Shadow and Bone, okay? It was the Day of the Triffids by John Wyndham because I really wanted something short because I have started another book that I will talk later and I really wanted something like really short. Let me tell you something. I'm pretty sure most of you have heard about this book. It's a science fiction classic and honestly, I didn't like it. And I'm like so bummed about it. I just don't like it. I'm really struggling. I haven't even rated on Goodreads even. I'm really struggling with giving it a 2 or a 3 star. Like, it was so meh and so disappointed. I liked The Kraken Wakes. I didn't think it was fucking amazing, but it was entertaining. The first half of this book was boring. And it's super short, like it doesn't even have 300 pages. And you know, it's a really old book. It's filled with fucking sexism and I get that. I'm not judging the time period. But you know, there's a part here where they are just like, oh, women are just tasked with repopulating the earth. Even blind women. Because you get blind for looking at a meteor here. They are just going to treat like the blind woman. Blind men don't care, no one cares about them, but the blind woman because they can have children. And the main love interest of this guy is just like, oh sure, and I will just make a law that if you married a woman that can see, you need to take 2 other ones that cannot see to give them something like a life. And it's just like, No. Being like a human cow is not living. Like, what the fuck? That was weird. That put me off. But overall, I felt like nothing fucking happened here. The thing that I'm realizing with this really short books is that it doesn't have the time to fucking develop anything. Like, absolutely anything. You're doing this and the next chapter is another thing and another thing and another thing and another thing. So you get to the end. This one, honestly, it just felt like 10 different short stories. Not really, but like, it's just like no correlation between some of the chapters. Like, in the first chapter, everyone's getting blind. In the next chapter, he finds this girl. In the next chapter, he is with this girl. The next one, the girl's missing. The next one, he's going to find her. Like that. Like, but it doesn't flow, you know? It's just like a cut and a cut and a cut and a cut. Like when a film is like heavily edited, something like that. And I just really did, and I really didn't like it. I really didn't like it. I just, but then I think about the last parts where the Triffids are more prominent and that I enjoyed. But honestly, I'm just thinking about giving it 2.5 stars. And I kind of hate myself because this is such a fucking science fiction classic. Like, the ratings are all over the place for this book. Like, all over the place. Everyone's just like, this was fucking trash. And some of them are just like, oh my god, the fucking greatest thing in science fiction. It's just like, well, maybe not. Maybe not. I don't really know what I'm going to do, honestly. Like, I'm so bummed about not liking this. Like, I thought this was going to be one of, maybe not one of my favorite books, but close to that. Like, I'm so bummed. I don't know what I'm going to do. I really don't know what I'm going to do with this one. Maybe a 3, maybe 2.5. Maybe I will put it at 2.5, but I will run it up to a 3. For what this novel did. For science fiction in general. Probably that. But I didn't like it. I did much prefer The Kraken Wakes. And next month, I'll be reading The Midwich Cuckoos. We'll see what happens with that. But I still didn't like this. I'm so sorry. I'm so sad, honestly. I'm like so sad about this. So sad. But yeah, life. But now I'm reading Wrath by John Wen. I'm not really that far into it. Well, I'm past chapter 9. Not even like 100 pages in. Yesterday I was just too tired and I just didn't read a thing. So for now I'm liking it. The problem is so many similar names here. I know that I complain a lot about that thing in here, but it's still so fucking hard to follow the audiobook sometimes. Like, I usually listen to 2.5. With this I need to listen to 2.0 speed, like time speed, because I cannot. Some of the names are said like fucking the same. And I don't understand. Corvin and his sister have almost the same fucking name. The pronunciation for the narrator, it's just like the fucking same. Sometimes I don't know who's talking. I'm just like, wait a second. Are we talking about Corvin or his sister? I said Corvin, right? But it's Corvin. It's a mess. So I'm just taking my time with it. I still have like, what, 6 days left to finish this. I will 100% finish it. But for now, that's my only complaint. I believe the story is kind of moving forwards faster in this installment than in the previous ones, which is good. Even though I love the revelation in book 3, I felt like book 3, the beginning was also quite slow, like in the other books, but the endings are always so well executed. Like John Wen, you can say many things about his books, but the endings are fucking glorious each time. Like, they are so fucking good. Like, I'm really excited to get into the end of this book. Like, I think it's going to be epic. It's going to be fantastic. But my only complaint for now is that so many similar names. Please, just, I really hope that in the next trilogy, the names are different. Or in The Shadow of the Gods, the new book that he's coming out with. Like, I really hope so. Because holy shit. The other book that I'm currently reading is The Blacktongue Thief. And I'm actually really enjoying it. But as I told you, I didn't have like that much time to read this week. But I'm really liking it. I was a little bit scared because I've read some reviews talking about the humor in this book, but I actually really like the humor in this book. And it's also narrated in a way that is like, it feels like it's been told to you, like the narrator talks to you, and I really like that. It's in first person, and you know, the only thing that I'm not loving is the fact that it has so many info dumps. So many things are added that I just don't care. It's not that I don't care, but there are too many. For example, if if the main character sees a cat, he's just going to explain you that sometime during the Goblin Wars, there was this thing because this count, and now you can hunt down cats basically and kill them and get a reward in that. And it's a good detail, but sometimes it goes too far. Sometimes the story does not move forwards because he's stuck telling these kind of little snippets that I usually really like, but I think they're overly done in this book, like overly done. The rest, I'm really liking it. Both the main characters, I'm really liking. There's a cat that looks fucking amazing already. I'm loving that. And the plot hasn't really started yet, but I'm curious. I'm really curious, but that's my only complaint. The fucking info dumps, like they are even too much for me. I love info dumping. I love learning about the world, but this is too much. Like in every page we have like this type of like Easter egg. It's not an Easter egg, but this type of like snippet of the world, and it's too much. It's a little bit too much. The only other thing that I'm currently reading is Dceased, which I'm going to finish today because I read half of it yesterday, and I will read the other half today, basically. It's just so cool, man. It's just so cool. It kind of ties with the Justice League movie and the anti-life equation. It's brought up here, but instead of just turning people into kind of puppets and you are able to just like order them around, they basically turn into like kind of zombies and they try to spread the anti-life equation. And it's just so cool. It's just so cool. Like, you know, zombie Batman. Great. But yeah, I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I knew I was going to like it. And I realized that there are 2 other entries in this like post-apocalyptic world of DC, which I will 100% read. But yeah, that's basically all. In next week's wrap-up, I will probably have already started with the books for May. But yeah, I only need to finish Wrath, Blacktongue, and 7 Deaths of an Empire, but I don't think I will have a problem with that. So yeah, that's basically all. Have you read any of these books? I know that I always ask you the same, but please just let me know down in the comments below so we can chat a little bit more about them. But yeah, that's going to be all for today. So I will see you in the next one. Bye.